Good morning, and welcome to the Alameda Connection on KCSM HD2. I'm your host, Scott Piehler. Every Sunday morning on the Alameda Connection, it's my distinct pleasure to introduce you to the Bay Area's island city. Whether it's museums, breweries, Halloween hijinks, an unbeatable art scene, or the people behind the headlines, no matter what you're interested in, you're bound to find something to love here in Alameda. The former Alameda Naval Air Station, now known as Alameda Point, has one of the more intriguing features in all of the greater Bay Area. It's called Spirits Alley. Whatever your preferred beverage, odds are you can find it out on Alameda Point. Looking for a classically crafted soft drink? There's Alameda Soda. For beer lovers, the breweries Almanac and Faction, plus the tap rooms at Admiral Maltings and Humblesea. For those who prefer something a little stronger, there's St. George Spirits and the soon-to-arrive Gold Bar Whiskey Distillery. And for those who prefer a touch of the grape, the wines of Dash Cellars and Urban Legend. The latest addition to Spirits Alley is Vinyl Wine Bar. Located across from nationally recognized restaurant Saltbreaker, Vinyl is the brainchild of Chamaine Wofford. When you come into Vinyl, Chamaine invites you to, as the wine bar's motto says, sip, spin, and savor. You'll enjoy some classic jazz and R&B while being introduced to some of the world's finest wines and learning a few things you might not have expected, like the fact that caviar, champagne, and potato chips go really well together. I headed on over to Spirits Alley and sat down with Chamaine Wofford to find out what it is that makes Vinyl Wine Bar worth a spin. Good morning, Chamaine, and welcome to the Alameda Connection.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing well. I love the fact that your URL on the website probably sums up your whole business, and we can cut this real short. Sip, spin, savor.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Thank you. So it was by happenstance.
Okay.
I wanted the URL to be Vinyl Wine Bar, but it was not available.
Okay.
And I looked high and low. And actually, my branding manager, she said, why don't we use the tagline, Sip, Spin, Savor? Is that available? And it was. And so as a result, the website became sipspinsavor.com, and all of the social media became Sip, Spin, Savor.
That is fantastic. I'm going to go right back to the beginning with you. Let's start with you. What started your journey into wine?
In my 20s, a trip to Paris.
That'll do it.
At that time, a bottle of wine was a lot cheaper than a bottle of water. My ex-husband, he ordered the wine for me. It was a red, and he said, try this. And I loved it. And I fell in love with French wines. I've been in love with them since then.
So what led to the journey to vinyl?
So I reached that apex in life, the big 5-0.
Uh-huh.
And I had been doing graphic design, web design, agency work, basically.
Okay.
I still do it. I still have my agency. I felt that, at a certain point, I wanted to do what I love. And
Okay.
it's like being in love with two different things.
Right.
You don't love one less. You just have room in your heart to love two things that's very different. And the wine bar was just my way of focusing on my Southern upbringing, which is hospitality,
Okay.
making people feel comfortable, offering great drinks. Music, I feel as though it's always been a part of my life. When I think about the best times that I've had,
Sure.
it's always been around wine and music. And, the music being jazz, or I call it soulful sounds.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to bring those two together. So when I started this journey, nobody was really doing it, but it took almost 2 years to open up the wine bar. And since then I saw my idea become very well known throughout the country. So, but yeah, that's in a nutshell, that was how it started.
Now, as someone who lived in Atlanta for about 30 years, where in the South? Where's your upbringing there?
South Carolina.
Okay.
So Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Beautiful
So high country, not low country.
Right, right.
Yes.
What do you think people's biggest misconception is about a wine bar?
I think one of the biggest misconceptions is the fact that people feel as though they have to know about wines or they have to have this persona when they
Hmm.
walk into a wine bar.
Right.
And that's not the case. So we really want to create an environment where, anyone can come in and, if you want to learn about wines, by all means, we are here to educate. But if you just want to just have a glass or a bottle to yourself, you're totally fine to do that too. So I think people think it's a classism
Okay.
thing,
That's fair.
and it's really not.
It's interesting because I had, back in my radio days on the East Coast, I had a sommelier on my radio show. And he taught me one thing I thought was very interesting in the world of wine, which is that people tend to judge wine only by the price tag, which is not a good way to go.
No, I totally agree. So, so they automatically assume that because the price is expensive, then they're drinking really good wine, and that's not the case.
Hmm.
Obviously, I look at quality. That's what I care about,
Hmm.
and the quality of wines that I'm bringing into Alameda. And these are from small producers, what we call low intervention methods.
Hmm.
They're small entrepreneurs that happen to be farmers,
Okay.
and what they're farming happens to be grapes.
Hmm.
And so, these are producers that are making incredible wines. They're following amazing techniques. And that does not come with a high price tag.
Right.
That comes with a fair price tag.
Hmm. That reminds me a little bit of, I was speaking with Ron Silberstein, who's the head over at Admiral Maltings. And it's their same, it's almost like a vibe here out on Alameda Point, is finding the quality, finding the local farmer, because, and this is going to sound totally marketing cliche, but frankly, whether it's a glass of wine, a glass of beer, or whatever, you taste the love in the glass.
You do. You taste the love in food.
You do.
Yeah.
Absolutely precisely.
I can't tell you how many times I've been to a restaurant and I taste the food and I'm like, yeah, this chef is not putting any love in his food. Because, whether he's burnt out or, hates his job, I don't know, but you definitely taste love. When a chef loves what they do, it comes out in the food. The same concept with wine or beer.
Now, speaking of wine and food, something came across my feed and I turned to my wife. I said, I have to go meet this woman. Wine, caviar, and potato chips. So let's explore that, shall we?
Those 2 days happen to be some of the best days that we've had at the wine bar.
Really?
So I got introduced again to caviar in Paris. I had the privilege of visiting two of the top restaurants in Paris at that time. And both places is part of a preset menu.
Right, right.
And so, unlike the United States, the caviar, it's a lot of it.
Okay.
Tastes amazing.
Hmm.
And so, because of that, I always turn my nose up when I go to restaurants here. And I'm like, I'm not going to pay this much money for some caviar that's like subpar. So, when I was thinking about things to bring to the wine bar, that obviously popped in my head. It's not my own original idea. I think Pearl in Oakland,
Okay.
they did it first. I thought it would be fun to do, and it has been. So it's great because you get the brininess of the caviar.
Sure.
And we do have caviar, not roe. You have the saltiness of the potato chips. We use a truffle potato chip.
Oh.
The cream fresh, a dab of it brings in
Okay.
the creaminess, and the champagne just cuts through everything beautifully.
I am a fan of truffle potato chips. I can see this working.
Oh yeah, it works perfectly. And it's that wine bite with that sip of champagne, and it's like a pop of happiness in your mouth.
Will there be any more of those coming up in the future?
Yes, yes. So we actually carry the caviar and the
Okay.
chips every single day
Okay.
that we're open. Now, regarding an event, absolutely in November because it's the perfect time to do it
Right.
around the holidays.
That is superb. Now, what should someone they walk into the door of vinyl, what should they expect?
The first thing, a warm welcome. Hi, thank you for visiting. They should expect an evening or a daytime where they are going to enjoy themselves. Depending on the day, we may be playing jazz, or we may be playing funk. On the weekends, we kind of hype it up a little bit.
Okay.
During the week, we keep it more mellow because people want to come in and they just want to relax. So we definitely want to respect that. On the weekends, they kind of want to, it's like, okay, they got through the week. Thank God it's Friday.
Right.
So we kind of go from there. On the weekends, we do have a DJ,
Oh, cool.
DJ Kimani. So that's from Fridays and Saturdays. He's in here spinning.
If you had to pick, what are the 5 albums that you've got to hear on vinyl? Because we can all have our favorite music, but oh yeah, but this one, we have these 5 on the vinyl. These are the gold standards.
So Miles Davis, Bitches Brew.
Okay.
John Coltrane, A Love Supreme, Ella Fitzgerald, Nina Simone.
Okay.
Yes, definitely Nina Simone. Harry Belafonte.
Oh, nice touch. I was actually, I forget why, maybe with his passing, I was just rewatching Harry on the Muppet Show, which is actually one of my all-time favorite mashups of entertainment. That's fantastic.
And I have various albums of all of the artists that I just named, which is why it's hard for me to just pick an album.
I have one album that I would add to that list just because it's so quirky and nobody knows about it, which is Brubeck's Dave's Digs Disney, where he went to Disney in like 1958 and then came back and did all his versions of Alice in Wonderland and whatnot.
I agree, 100%.
Great stuff. You have a wine club here. Let's talk a little bit about that. What's involved there?
So we just had our first allocation yesterday for the wine pickup party, which is part of the wine. Obviously it's like the wine day out of the month that we invite the members to come in and they get to taste the wines that's part of their pickup. So it's 3 bottles, $149 a month. And what we give them in addition to the wine is that if they can make it to the pickup party, we offer small bites at no additional cost that complements the wines that's in their pickup. This month we focused on Italy and Spanish wines.
Okay.
And we actually curated a playlist on Apple Music and Spotify to complement the vibe. We gave them a tasting card so they could see, where we talked about the wines, described the regions, the grape, along with gave them tasting notes and food pairing suggestions. So you can literally, find a recipe, click the QR code, and make a beautiful dinner with the wines.
Are you looking at any particular regions coming up or any ideas spinning in the head?
For October, I have a few surprises. I would say that definitely South Africa.
Okay.
Because, you have to do that.
Right.
And I'm ready to go back to France. So I always try to do, 1 month Old World, the next month New World.
Okay.
Or in a combination. Keep it fun because once, there's a formula, then it becomes boring.
What has been your favorite reaction from a customer so far? Just one that you closed up the shop and you went home and went, yeah, that's why I do this.
So when people come in and they say, oh, I only drink Chardonnays. And I typically say, okay, oak or unoak. And some of them, they know the difference. Some don't. They don't. And that's totally okay. So then I'll turn them on to other wines that probably won't give them that oaky, buttery taste of a chard.
Right.
I turn them into like crisp, citrusy profiles. And so when they taste the wines, then, it typically is like, oh, what is this? This is amazing. So there is one particular wine that when somebody comes in, they say, I only want a chard.
Right.
Is we have this beautiful bottle by Theopolis. And the grape is the symphony grape, which is native to California.
Okay.
And it's a cross between a Muscat and a Pinot Gris grape. There's this wonderful flavor profile. It's like a flavor bomb in your mouth. I had a young lady, she came in and she tried it. She actually tried the Flight.
Okay.
And she kept going back to the symphony.
Nice.
And she wound up buying 2 bottles of it to take home. So to me, that was, when I went home, I was like, okay, now we're talking. Now I'm getting in the groove of things. Because there's always a worry that people won't buy into your dream.
Right.
And they won't buy into your vision. I would say the people of Alameda and, the surrounding Bay Area, everyone has been great about trying new things. And I try not to carry the obvious,
Right.
which is why when you walk into the wine bar, you won't see pictures of jazz musicians on the wall
Right.
because we don't want to do the obvious. We want to
Right.
do something that's different. We don't want to be, the best wine bar in the Bay Area. We want to be your favorite wine bar.
And that is a fascinating distinction. I
Mm-hmm.
like, expound on that a little
Mm-hmm.
bit. I like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Well, if we're your favorite, we're the wine that you're going to keep coming back to, regardless of whether or not it's in the budget, because
Right.
you like the way that we make you feel. You like the wines that you're getting from us. When you're the best, there's no personalization in being the best, but there's such a connection to being the favorite.
Coming at it from the customer side, I think the greatest accolade I can give any place, be it a restaurant, a bar, is that's my place. That's my
Exactly.
that's my third space right
Exactly.
there. Bingo.
Yes, exactly.
That is beautiful. When you are not having wine, what's your go-to?
When am I not having wine? I would say I love IPAs. I hate to say it. Okay, so my favorite beer is a Belgium style beer.
I do love a Belgian.
So, I love Chamaine.
Okay.
Maybe because it's so close to my name, I don't know. But I do, or maybe because the first time I ever had beer was in Belgium.
This it's funny because it reminds me the opposite way of my wife. My wife does not like sushi. First time she had sushi was in Japan. She didn't like it. She's like, I'm done. So you got kind of the opposite. So you got the beer and Belgium. I totally get that. Totally get that.
After that, I love Socks and Sandals from Humble Sea.
Okay.
And I love Almanac's Love.
Oh, yes.
And their Big Love. So I definitely have a profile that I stick to.
That's okay. Now, you mentioned Almanac, you mentioned Humble Sea, and you're right next to Humble Sea. And
yes.
What drew vinyl to where we are now, here in the area next to Humble Sea, behind Firebrand and whatnot?
Okay, so it helps that I live upstairs. But also, on a serious note, I think the base is definitely the place to be at the ground up.
Okay.
So when we're talking about a community that's being built and created, it's the base. We have the West Alameda Arts District. We have so many great things that goes on the base when it comes to creativity. And there's a vibrancy that people, they're always surprised when they come over here. Oh, I didn't know that all of this was over here. I'm excited to be a part of it. I just wish that the city of Alameda did more with helping people find us. Okay. Hint, hint. I think that it's definitely a different vibe than Park Street and Webster. And it's more people that's looking for something different.
Right. It definitely does have its own vibe. And it seems like you found a very good match here. So what brought you to Alameda? What's your path? Let's get your path.
I came to Oakland in 1992 to attend school. The college is no longer around, Holy Names College. And I loved it. I loved San Francisco. I loved Oakland. And I always said that if I left Oakland, I would leave the country. I would move out of the country. And it was always Oakland, not San Francisco, not Walnut Creek, Oakland. I did leave the country. I lived in Northern Africa for a year and came back to Oakland. I love Oakland, but Oakland became a place that I did not recognize after COVID.
Okay.
And as you get older, it was a certain level of beauty that I was seeking.
Okay.
And I wanted to be near water, closer to water. And I wanted to be able to walk outside and not worry about seeing all kinds of like trash and, all of the stuff that's going on in Oakland right now. So my daughter actually found this loft. She said, "Oh, I'm going to go take a look at it." Well, my response was, "Oh, I'm going to go with you." And because I literally was looking at a building to turn into a loft, because again, I have the agency. And when I came over here to the Storehouse Lofts and I saw the work that they've done over here, and it was a rental, which was even better because that means that anything that comes up, I don't have to pay for it out of my pocket. I immediately was like, okay, I'm here. And the community at that time, when they first opened up the lofts, it was such a community vibe, a community feel We were all entrepreneurs. We loved the building. We loved being the first ones. So that's what brought me to Alameda.
Okay.
I love Alameda.
What are the rewards and the challenges of being a Black woman-owned business in Alameda?
I don't think the challenge is based on being Black.
Okay.
I think the challenge is based on not being from Alameda.
Okay.
Alameda has a lot of history, family, generations of families. They live, they stay in Alameda.
Right.
I'm going to say she, because I feel as though Alameda is a she for sure.
She is.
Yes, she's changing. Alameda is changing and slowly, moving in the right direction, but it does take time and patience.
Sure.
So yeah, I would say so it's not so much being a woman or even a Black woman, it's more being an outsider.
Sure. What about the rewards?
This is a great community.
Mm-hmm.
The people are so nice for the most part. I've encountered some challenging people, but I'm from the South, so that doesn't bother me. I just smile.
I will warn you, folks, if you come in here and she looks at you and says, "Bless your heart," be careful.
Right, right, exactly. The reward is the fact that I love what I do. It's been challenging, but there's not a day that I wake up and I think, oh God, I got to go downstairs. Every day that I wake up, no matter how tired I am, it's a day of, this is a new day. I think about the wines that I'm going to pour. I think about the stories that I'm going to tell. I think about the music that I'm going to play. So everything is very well thought out and curated for Alameda and for my customers throughout the Bay Area.
What wine trends that are out? Let's go two ways with this. What are some wine trends you look at and go, people need to get on this? And what are some wine trends you look at and go, please stop?
I'm going to get a lot of flack for this. When people come in and they say, oh, I only drink natural wines. So when I first opened the bar, I actually was told, oh, you need natural wines. People are drinking natural wines. I got some very good natural wines in the bar. Guess what? They're not moving because people are not drinking them. You know why? Because natural wines in the United States is a fallacy.
Okay.
And I say that because nowhere in the world are they not making natural wines.
Right.
If you're used to buying your wines from big box stores, Walmart, Costco, the supermarket, anything that's mass produced, yes, they're going to put things in there that because they have to preserve it. It has to last, right? But only in the United States did it become a movement.
Got it.
The fact that I have some very good natural wines and nobody's asking for them tells me all I need to know. I actually put them on the flight list. They were number one on the flight list. Nobody asked for them. They all asked for, they all wanted bubbles and reds.
Got it. And it's funny you say that it's kind of a myth. It reminds me, when I lived back in Atlanta, I used to get vegetables from a local farmer. And he had kind of a similar opinion on organic and labels and whatnot, because he didn't like. But the example that stuck with me is he said, "Do you know what qualifies as grass-fed beef in this country?" I said, "No, Dave, I don't." He said, "You can take a cow, keep it in a pen, feed it grain for its entire life, and on the last day before it goes to the slaughterhouse, you park it on grass. You are now legally allowed to call that grass-fed beef." So I hear what you're saying, that people kind of get stuck in these labels and they don't quite understand what they mean.
Exactly. There's some people that's doing great things in the industry, like Ordinaire in Oakland. When I have the few customers that have come in and they're looking for a natural wine and they don't care for my selection, that's totally okay because I can't be everything to everybody.
Sure.
And I don't mind saying, Ordinaire in Oakland, they have an amazing selection. And it's actually, but please come and visit us.
Right.
Come back. And, and it's no harm, no foul.
What about trends that you're liking? What are you seeing that you like?
I'm loving the trend of people wanting good wine again.
Do you think that, and I'm seeing that in other spirits and food, because alcohol consumption on the whole in the U.S. is declining, we've gotten to a point where if I'm going to have this, it's going to be good.
And guess what? And I don't mind paying for good quality wine. And so I put some 24, 28 glass, by the glass
Right.
options on the menu. Those babies sold out so quickly because during the flight, you actually get, it's not even middle of the road because everything is good here,
Right.
but you get some, definitely, I throw in some high qualities.
Sure.
And everyone's like, I can't believe you put this on your flight because I want people to understand that there is a difference in quality when you spend more money.
Sure.
Not all the time, but especially for the wines that I carry, there's a difference in quality. And customers always come back to the highest quality.
Sure.
Now, the good news is that I've gotten some very high quality reds that's more affordable
Hmm.
because I'm trying to, be budget friendly to everybody.
Sure.
And even those, they're high quality, more affordable, and people love them. So again, that tells me, as you know, in marketing, you always have like that test,
Right.
right? And it tells me that people want high quality. They don't mind paying for high quality,
Sure.
and they don't mind having something that's more budget friendly as long as it's high quality.
That makes perfect sense. I'm gonna leave you with this. It's old elevator speech time. You're going up to the third floor and you've got somebody and they say, "So, why should I come to vinyl?"
Well, you should come because it's an experience that you haven't experienced yet. Life is all about journeys. And I would encourage anybody to come and experience the journey. You may not ever come back again, and that's okay. But at least you can say, hey, I went there and I experienced it. Now, the elevator pitch is this, you should come because I'm here.
And as I like to say, and I've said on the show before, it ain't bragging if you can back it up.
Right.
So when can people come? What are your hours?
So we're closed on Mondays. Tuesday through Thursday, we're open from 4 o'clock until 9:30. Friday and Saturday, 1 o'clock until 10 p.m. Sundays, 1 o'clock until 8 p.m.
Just so folks know, because I am one of those people, you can leave Fido at home on this one.
Yes. So we are the only wine bar in Alameda, 21 and over.
Okay.
And no pets are allowed.
Chamaine, this has been absolutely delightful. Thank you so much for spending time with us.
No, thank you. I'm very humbled that you sought me out.
My pleasure indeed. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks again to Chamaine Wofford of Vinyl Wine Bar. Vinyl is located at 2350 Saratoga Street on Alameda Point in the Storehouse Lofts building, right in between Malaya Botanicals and Humblesea Tap Room, just across from Saltbreaker. Find Vinyl online at sipspinsavor.com. Again, that's SIPSPINSAVOR.com. You can also follow them on Instagram at sipspinsavor. Again, many thanks to Chamaine Wofford for spending time with us. If you're wondering what's coming up in future episodes of the Alameda Connection, head to the kcsm.org homepage, scroll down, and there you'll find listings for all the shows on KCSM HD2, including the Alameda Connection. If you'd like to hear an encore presentation of the most recent shows, follow the links from the KCSM HD2 schedule page. If you're looking for older episodes, we've got them all the way back to the very first episode on the show's YouTube archive. Just go to YouTube and search at Alameda Connection. To keep up with what's happening with the show, follow us on Instagram. That's where you'll find the very latest updates. That handle is also at Alameda Connection. If you have an idea for an upcoming topic for a future episode of the Alameda Connection, go ahead and send me an email. That address is alamedaconnection@gmail.com. Once again, alamedaconnection@gmail.com. Let me know about your favorite people, places, and things here in the East Bay's Island City. I look forward to hearing your ideas for a future episode. As always, our theme music is courtesy of guitarist Bill Hart. The song is Beachside Isle. It's from his excellent 1999 album called Watch the Sky. You can find Bill's music on most streaming platforms. If you're searching, make sure to spell that last name H-A-R-T. A little trivia about Bill, he literally wrote the book on solo jazz guitar. Seriously, check out Solo Jazz Guitar in the Hal Leonard Instructional Series. I'm Scott Piehler. Catch you next Sunday at 8 a.m. on KCSM HD2 for the latest episode of the Alameda Connection. Mr. Hart, play us out.